Okay, welcome to a video game. I guess kind of in honor of the new Spider-Man movie coming out. Even though I don't particularly think it looks very good. I shall be playing a Spidey-Man game. Probably my favorite Spider-Man game. Ultimate Spider-Man. It's a good game. This is probably going to drop me right into the middle of a game, so I'm going to join you back when I start a new one. The soundtrack is so good. Oh, okay, never mind. We're just gonna stay in there. You can just listen to the music. Because I can create a new profile, I suppose. What is my name? My name is... I guess my name is Barry Burr. I can never fit Barry Burton on there for some reason. I always try. If it looks like I can fit it, I try, but I've never been able to do it. One day they'll make a video game where I can call myself Barry Burton.
This is how it all began. Which, of course, leads to nonsense like this. A few months ago, I reunited with my childhood friend Eddie Brock. What is that? It's our inheritance. Eddie's dad and my dad worked together before they died.
We believe the suit may be the final step. Finally, a cure for cancer. People are dying all over the world. And all I want to do is try to help them. But because I signed the wrong paper for the wrong person, I can't.
They had taken the suit away from Dad, and I was going to take it back. I knew I could finish what he started. I felt good. Great. More than myself. It didn't last.
What's happening to me? Get this off of me!
I don't know what the suit had become or what it had done to me. But I have super spider powers, and I couldn't control it, so I don't think anyone could ever hope to. But when Eddie found out what I had done, who I really was, well, he was pretty angry.
Our fathers died to create me, and now you will too.
So, I really like that they just kind of put you in here. This is directly from the comic books. Yep, got it. It's not really as in-depth as, like, the Batman stuff with the dodging. It's just like, if you have a spider sense thing, you might want to jump. It's not an automatic thing that's gonna immediately make it so that you don't get hurt. But it's still pretty cool. Venom, what are you doing? Looks like I could still fight him. I haven't played this game in a very long time, so that's gonna be my excuse when I start playing poorly. Alright. That was easy. I figured maybe I'd have to keep it there, but no. And I like that it's a Spider-Man game that starts you off by playing as Peter Parker instead of just straight up Spider-Man. Which was the alternate title for the new Spider-Man movie, Straight Up Spider-Man. What's happening? That was weird, because I was attacking him and then I just became him. No, Venom. So yeah, he'll gain some health back if he keeps doing that, but it's the beginning of the game. They want you to win.
Lie on the ground with your hands over your head. Both of you on the ground now. The hell is that?
Look at those comics. Those comics bring me back. Early 2000s. Fucking Ultimate Spider-Man comics were so goddamn good.
I need it.
It's not done.
Give it back.
It's really not done.
I can't go swinging around in my nerd clothes.
I just have to finish stitching up a hole in the butt, and then I'll give it back to you.
I can explain the hole in the butt, by the way.
Please don't. Come by the place in about half an hour, and I'll have it ready for you.
All right. I'm gonna run by home and grab my web shooters. I've been sitting on my tush all day. Time for a little workout.
This game actually does still look pretty good. Like, it's not great. It doesn't run in progressive scan. And it's, you know, graphics are kind of choppy, but the presentation at least still looks pretty good.
Let's start with some wall crawling.
And, I mean, the music is so goddamn good.
Just a little jump up
This is
here.
pretty much exactly like it was in Spider-Man 2. You know, you press it short, it's that. Hold it down a little bit more, it's that. You hit a double jump.
Jump and then jump again.
It's, you know, if you've ever played a Spider-Man game, it plays exactly like you'd think it would.
Me, the amazing jumping man.
And maybe, you know, if you're Peter Parker, maybe you wouldn't want to be doing this in your neighborhood. Is there a way to fix the camera? Yeah, there you go. Okay.
The spectacular leaping dude.
Oh wait, I did it wrong. I'm a dummy when I can never remember vertical and horizontal. So that up is up, down is down, left is right. Alright, that's fine. It's perfectly normal for a video game.
Police have attempted to apprehend the man, identified as 33-year-old Herman Schultz. In a daring daylight bank robbery attempt, Schultz...
That was such a weird pose that he did.
Web zipping.
So web zip, I want to say this is new in this game. I don't exactly remember it being in Spider-Man 2.
These buildings are tall enough to
Web swinging
pretty
is
easy.
exactly as you would want it to be. It controls real good, real nice. Oh, that's the boost. I thought it was A. Yeah, what does A do? I guess it just lets you jump. Even though I will say it feels real good, I kind of like the way it played in the Spider-Man 1 game, the movie game, where, you know, you could just swing off anything. I think, like, yeah, it's not realistic,
Oh, and the wedgies. The
but at
glorious
least,
super wedgies.
for the gameplay, it felt, like, way good.
That still happens a lot.
I don't remember exactly why Mary Jane is in this weird abandoned warehouse. She should have a house of her own.
Ta-da!
You scared me.
You done with my butt, hole yet? There's an idiot causing trouble a few blocks from here. I need to skedaddle.
Ooh, boy, oh boy. That image was going real good for a second there, and then it just became super compressed. But, yeah, this game's really cool, and it's based on, probably my favorite Marvel comic series.
Out of the way, Piglet! All of you, just back off!
I never knew your name was Herman.
Oh no, it's you!
Well, you are kind of in my neighborhood, Herman.
Ultimate Spider-Man, I still think, to this day, is probably the best
Easy on you this time, Herman.
comic series that Marvel has ever done. I'm not a big Marvel guy. I like Spider-Man, I like Daredevil, and I like the Punisher. That's about it.
This guy-
And Brian Michael Bendis, I think, is like the best writer that Marvel has. And it's funny that he also has worked on both Spider-Man and Daredevil, which are like the only things I care about.
I'm wasting wasting my time.
But this was, I think, probably the first comic series that I actually like really got into, and it's probably the reason why I'm such a loser today.
Good old predictable Herman. See you around, pal.
Please, no. I got kids.
I got a dog. You've got a dog. That's a Homer.
I envy you guys. You're happy just being walking cliches. Seriously, good for you. But come on, guys, leave the lady alone.
So before Ultimate Spider-Man, like the series came out, I would go to, like, just comic stores. There's one comic store around me that I would always go to, and, I wouldn't pick up, like, the newest Spider-Man. I always went back and bought a bunch of old, just random Spider-Man comics. And then when Ultimate Spider-Man came out, that's when I actually started to, like, from beginning to end, I pretty much read all of Ultimate Spider-Man as it was coming out. Not quite, because I stopped right after they tried their go at the Clone Saga, because I don't think there was any situation in which the Clone Saga was going to work out. So yeah, I stopped right after that, and I never saw any of the like Miles Morales stuff. But it was a good ride. I think that was about a good like 100-something issues. Yeah, it just shows you where your icons are. So the point of the story is that Ultimate Spider-Man is fucking great. Or at least it was. The stuff of it that I saw was fucking great. And is probably the reason I'm such a big comic book fan now. Because I would always, as I said, just go in and just read random comics. But that was the first comic that I really religiously read. And it's crazy that Brian Michael Bendis was doing two of his like best works pretty much at the same time with Ultimate Spider-Man and Daredevil. Because his Daredevil run is superb.
Yo, 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 Spidey!
Johnny Storm of the world-famous Fantastic Four.
Also, none of the
What
other
are you doing
Ultimate
in
stuff was
Queens?
any good.
What, I can't be in Queens?
I have to be here, but you? Go save the world.
Oh, I got a better idea. What do you say, quick race around Queens?
I think his
What
voice is
this?
Jimmy
You
Olsen.
think just because you can fly in a streak of fire, ooh, you can beat me?
I do believe that's what I'm saying.
Then I've got two words for you. Bring it on.
Speaking of voices, Spider-Man is the kid from Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. I don't remember that kid's name because I haven't seen that show since it came out. But yeah, I remember this for some reason as a kid. This race gave me some trouble. Oh god, the soundtrack is so goddamn good. It's butt rock, like, to the extreme, and it sounds so good. And yeah, this is definitely the best Spider-Man game, in my opinion. Spider-Man 2 was good, but it still had the thing of, like, oh, it's a movie game. And it was a good movie game. I don't think it's aged very well. Whereas this just does its own thing. Yeah, it's based on the Ultimate Spider-Man comic books, but it still pretty much does its own thing. Another one that could have come pretty close to being good was Web of Shadows, but there's too many, like, just dumb things in that game that hold it back from being, like, a really competent game. One of them being Spider-Man's voice. Like, his voice actor kind of kills that game. Maybe I'll play that game at some point. I think I've tried a couple times to let's play that, but it's not very good. And of course there's the PS1 Spider-Man game made by Neversoft, which is just always a good time.
Oh, man. You're faster than I thought.
Now I own you.
Yeah, whatever. You ever want to race again, look me up. I'm usually hanging out by the Baxter building.
I think you have to do those at some point. I don't remember if it's this game or Spider-Man 2. I think it's this game. Yeah, finishing city goals advances the story. I think that's dumb. I think that's probably my least favorite part of the game. Ooh, what was that? Okay, I don't know what that was about. A show that I wish that they'd made a video game based on was, probably Spectacular Spider-Man, which is probably the best Spider-Man media of all time. I think it's better than any of the movies. What is happening with Spider-Man? He just, like, is walking very bizarrely. Here's the world famous Nokia building in New York City. Of course, everyone knows that building. Where am I going? I think the red dots are like crimes in progress. Maybe?
Okay, how about this?
Who's this man? Also, I'm gonna go ahead and say that Ultimate Spider-Man was probably the time that they just started to make, what's his face? The Shocker just a joke. I mean, not that, like, the Shocker was ever, like, a big, credible threat before, but Ultimate Spider-Man is when they were just like, yeah, his name's fucking Herman Schultz. The guy, he's essentially Electro, but dumber, so he's just a big joke, and it seems like, I don't know, that's what they're going for in the new Spider-Man movie. I forget what it's called, the dumb one. But the Shocker's costume in that movie looks really goofy. And I don't know if that's just because they don't know how to make costumes in those movies, or because they're going to just make him to be a big loser. It could go either way, really. Nope, don't want to go that way.
I should go buy the Daily Bugle.
This is such an early 2000s video game. And I love it. But yeah, none of the other Ultimate comics were very good. Like, the first two Ultimates, like Ultimate Avengers, they were just called the Ultimates, were pretty good, and then they just went fucking off the rails in the third one. And from what I can tell, Ultimatum was no good. I read the Ultimate Iron Man one, and that one's kind of fucked up. It's got some, like, cool, like, fucked up stuff that happens in it. But apparently it's non-canon to, like, any of the other stuff, so I don't know why they made that. Ultimate X-Men never really did anything for me, and Ultimate Fantastic Four was pretty much the same as, like, this does nothing for me. So Spider-Man was the only one that was like, hey, read this. This is really good stuff. That's such a great cover.
It's Toombs. No, listen. Listen to me. I'm in Queens, and listen. I saw the suit. You heard me. Yes, the suit.
I wonder if there are subtitles.
I don't know what happened. I don't know how many days passed. I don't even know how I'm still alive. If you could call this alive.
So there was this book that came out. I remember I was really into it when I was a kid. It was a Venom book, or it was about Venom, and it was really freaky because maybe I'm misremembering this because I was a child, but there was a chapter where he eats Harry Osborn, I think, or like a friend of Harry Osborn. I can't find what that story was called, or if it even exists. That's not what I wanted. Oh, now we can go kill that fucking balloon kid from Spider-Man 2. Yeah, so Venom gets around differently than Spider-Man. I don't think he can use webs. He just jumps real high. Kind of like Hulk Ultimate Destruction. Oh, wow, we actually do feed on this kid. That's not the right button. How the fuck do I'm pressing L and R? Unless it's L and then L and R. Oh, he just died. Press L and R and Venom will pull himself towards buildings with his tentacles. It's the same thing as the web zip. And then, yeah, he'll crawl up walls, as I've already been demonstrating. But yeah, the Venom stuff in this game is cool. However, I don't think it's as cool as it could have been, because Venom is constantly losing health, and I think that's really annoying. Because you kind of just want to play as Venom. You don't want to have to keep looking at your health like that. Alright, so the left and right thing is going to bother me, so let's fix that. Left is left, up is up, down is down. We are good now. But yeah, Venom is fun to play as, but he's not as fun as he could have been. I think once you beat the game, I think he gets all like normal stuff, where he doesn't have to just eat all the time. So I think Venom becomes fun after the game is over, which is kind of messed up. I also don't remember how practical this is to do. Wait, this happens already? Also now, it's throwing me off completely now. So that needs to be that needs to be that. Yeah, I forgot that this happened so quickly into the game. Because this is pretty hype. And I think Wolverine is... he's Steve Blum. No, he's the guy from The Dark Knight and Angel. Keith Zumberberg. Guy whose name I will not pronounce correctly.
Nice mess. You don't say.
Yeah, I think that's the guy from The Dark Knight, one of the detectives, and he was also, I forget what his name was on Angel, but he was like the guy that really hated Angel. Which was a lot of people, I suppose, in Angel. He was also in Dead Space, he was the doctor. He's a good actor. I like him a lot, and I don't know why he's Wolverine in this video game. He, funny enough, actually plays Venom in Spider-Man Web of Shadows as well. Oh wait, no, I kind of wanted to... Can I don't think so. I think he'll just break away, and it's like no good to try and eat Wolverine. I still haven't seen Logan. I've been told to go see Logan, but as much as I don't like the Marvel movies, the X-Men movies are usually pretty good. I never saw, what was the other one? Apocalypse? No, Wolverine, no, 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 no. Well, I guess all the X-Men movies except Deadpool, because Deadpool was pretty rough. I almost fell asleep during that movie. Drinks. If I could just get him cornered, that would be pretty great. But yeah, how hype is this? Like, the game starts and you fight Venom in the ending of that, you know, one Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man issue. And then, as soon as you play as Venom, you're just fighting Wolverine. How cool is that? I feel like there are a few things that are like staples in Spider-Man games. The Rhino's always in it, Shocker's always in it, Venom's usually in it, and nowadays it seems like Wolverine's always in it. I think this was probably the game that started the Wolverine stuff. Because again, Wolverine is in Web of Shadows. Okay, what is that a poster for? It was a guy boxing, but it said, best in taste. Why is there a dojo in this bar? If you'll excuse me, Miss Branch, I have to return to my dojo. Yeah, fuck it, suck it, Wolverine. Canadian fuck. Yeah, you're gonna be playing as Spidey for most of this game.